Rabbi Jonathan, what is the Shemitah?
The Shemitah is an ancient mystery. It goes back over 3,000 years to Moses, Mount Sinai. Yet it is affecting everything from 9/11 to the rise and fall of the economy, to the crashing of the stock market, to the rise and fall of nations, everything from World War I, World War II, what is happening right now, and what will happen. It is the most precise, mind-boggling, biblical mystery, and it's coming true now.
Now, when you talked about it in your book, The Harbinger, did you have any idea that this would so affect us today in our everyday life? I mean, and how big it is.
I knew it was happening. I mean, at least in a certain period, but I had no idea that it didn't just happen then. It's been affecting us, every single one who's watching right now. It's affecting every life since the day we were born and the future. I had no idea until very recently how big it was. It's really mind-blowing.
Okay, let's just start with basics.
Yeah.
What does the Shemitah mean? What does the word mean?
The Shemitah means the release, but it can also mean, literally, it can also mean the fall or the collapse in Hebrew. It can also mean the shaking. And what it is this. In Mount Sinai, God gave this law to Israel. Every seventh year, you would have a Sabbath year, a year of rest. That rest was called the Shemitah. There was no sowing, no reaping of the land. And on the last day of the Shemitah, the day is called Elul 29 on the biblical calendar. On that last day, something unique happens. All credit is wiped away. All debt is wiped away. The financial accounts of the nation are wiped clean. Now, this was to be a blessing. But when Israel turned against God, the Shemitah comes back as a sign of judgment on a nation that is driving God out of its life. So this is where it affects us particularly today. So the thing is that the Shemitah affects, as you can see, the economy right away. Today it would be a recession or a depression. I mean, and the Wall Street, it literally is the collapse of our financial realm. So what we're going to see.
So we're going to have a collapse that's not a blessing. We're going to have the judgment type of collapse.
We have already seen it happen, and it's actually getting more specific. The last two Shemitahs have been so exact, so precise since 9/11, and we're coming up to another one as well. So what we're going to see, and this is what blew me away, is it has been affecting everything in our lives from really. There's no end to it. It's amazing and it's precise, down to the days, the hours, even the seconds.
Okay, give us some background. Like they explained every 7 years.
Yeah,
and
every 7th year. So you have this rest, and here's the keys to know, because we're gonna see what's happening right now. The keys are, number one, you have the 7-year cycle. So the 7-year cycle, everything stops, and then you have this financial wipeout.
Okay. According to the Bible, every 7th year,
yes,
we have just a blessing from God, or if we haven't done what God's asked, it becomes a judgment.
It became a judgment. Actually, in 586 BC, wiped out Jerusalem. They were in Babylon for 70 years, and the Bible says it was because it was timed according to how many Shemitahs they broke. So it becomes this amazing thing. It not only wipes away accounts, it can wipe away cities and nations.
You know, if someone is a non-believer in the Bible as being from God, just looking at these patterns that are affecting us today, that have affected us historically, our nations being rising and falling, economies rising and falling. I mean, it's just, how could anyone not be a believer in the Bible?
Yeah, amazing. And here, Sid, if you look, here's an example. If you look at the last 40 years of our financial history, you look for, there's 5 great turning points or long-term collapses combined often with recessions. When did they take place? I'll give you an example. 1973, first one. Second one, 1980. Third, 1987. Fourth, 2000. And fifth, 2007, Great Recession. What do you notice about all of them? Every one of them is separated by a 7-year period. I mean, 73 to 80, 7 years. 80 to 87, 7 years. 2000 to 2000, 7 years. Are any of them linked specifically to the year of the Shemitah? 1973, year of the Shemitah. 1980, Shemitah. 87, Shemitah. 2000, Shemitah. 2007, the Shemitah. Every single 100% of them happened according to the appointed time in the Bible. Some of these things went down to the seconds. So if you go, listen, take it larger. Go to the greatest crashes in history, and you'll find, do any of them take place linked to the year of the Shemitah? The majority of them do. I'll give you an example. This is the third greatest crash in history, 1937 and 38. When did the Shemitah happen? 1937 and 38, same year. In fact, when the Shemitah begins, the next day, Wall Street collapses. Here's another one, the Great Recession. When does that happen? It is 2007 and 8. When does the Shemitah happen? 2007 to 8. And on the exact day of the Shemitah appointed to wipe away the financial accounts, Elul 29, the whole stock market collapses. The Great Depression is even linked to this. When you have this peak day of the Shemitah, right after that comes the greatest month collapse in American history. I mean, it is mind-boggling.
You know, Jonathan, I used to be a stockbroker on Wall Street. If I had only understood these biblical principles, if I was a mutual fund manager, I could be the top mutual fund in the world. I don't understand. Maybe that's why there's going to be a great wealth transfer. The wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous, but we have to understand these biblical principles. When we come back, I'd like to find out the future of America based on the Shemitah. How about you?